And we start with the 7th. International Group 1 rating, California Spangle, top of the book, second time over the 1400. His first was the win in the Group 3 Celebration Cup. Wellington, Ryan Moore's only ride was when he won the Longines Hong Kong Sprint. Lucky Sweynesse unbeaten over 1400. Waikuku has never missed top 3 over 1400. Curry Wonder, he's never raced over 1400 metres, which means now we're going to have a look at the speed map, Tom. Small field, always so tactical, always so tricky. Who are the big winners, and are there any losers on the speed map?
No, I don't think there should be, but in this race, I think the pace will be good when you've got California Spangle in the race, and he'll be looking Paul to run the race to suit, because if they don't go too quick, that means Wellington off a slow tempo has got a really good turn of foot, but if he can run them along, Zach Purton here with California Spangle, that sort of takes, I think, Wellington out of play a little bit.
It does, yeah. Look, he's won up to 1,800 metres, hasn't he, California Spangle? So I think they will go quite quick here. Lucky Sweynesse won't want him out of his sight, so he's going to be very, very close to him. Waikuku can just sort of slide in. Courier Wonder now, first start over 1,400 metres, but his full sister Ice Bath won over a mile in top company in Australia as well. So I think the 1,400 might suit him as well.
All right, so it's a very interesting speed map there. What about past winners? Tom, we've got 2 previous winners doing battle again this year.
Yes, Wellington, Waikuku with Joe Moreira a couple of seasons ago there with John Size, but Paul, as we know, a race that was dominated 3 years at least by Beauty Generation.
Yeah, and it's fantastic horse Beauty Generation was, of course. And look, Wellington did win it nicely last year, so we'll see what he can do here in this.
The name Purton appears 3 times on the previous winners list. He's looking to add another one this year, and Zach spoke to Nick about the chances of California Spangle.
Zach, this weekend obviously a big weekend for all jockeys, yourself included. All the focus very much around the Derby, but the main supporting race to that, of course, is the Queen's Silver Jubilee. You ride California Spangle. First of all, how tough a decision was it to choose him perhaps over Lucky Sweynesse?
Yeah, it was really hard. Obviously, Lucky Sweynesse is on the way up, and it's hard to know where his ceiling is at the moment. He might have a little bit more improvement there. He's unbeaten at the distance, albeit in a lesser grade. And he's airborne, he's going really well. So it's very hard to choose between the two. I just felt that the Golden 60 form is probably the best form in Hong Kong. And I know my bloke's going to be very strong at the 1400 coming back from the mile. So that's sort of the way I went and what I was thinking.
I guess maybe the confirmation of that decision was a couple of recent trials. Tell me about those, because visually they've looked very impressive, something that we're used to seeing from this horse. Yeah,
he does everything right in the mornings, doesn't he? He always begins well and shows good speed and doesn't like the other horses to get past him. Obviously it's a bit of a different preparation for him. We normally trial him on the dirt over 1200, get him ready for the mile races, but coming back in distance, trialling over the 1000 up the straight will just help the spring in his legs.
It's extremely rare that we see a 5-runner race in Hong Kong. Obviously these races do have the tendency to cut up. As far as sort of tactical sort of positioning goes in this race, now we know your horse likes to lead. Lucky Sweynesse can sit close to the pace. How do you see it sort of playing out going into the race on Sunday?
Yeah, I think it's pretty predictable. I'm happy that Beauty Joy's out of the race now, because he was the one that can bring the unpredictability to it. But I think all the horses in this race are well established in their racing patterns, and you know, my bloke is going to take it up. I'll just throw the reins at him and let him go whatever speed he wants to go. He can work it out. He's a smart horse. Yeah, I think every horse will get their chance.
I mean, for Trip, 1,400 metres, a Group 1, obviously it's that intermediate trip. I guess he's winning the Celebration Cup first up over this distance was impressive, and certainly no issue as far as the distance is concerned.
No, distance is not a problem. When he won the Celebration Cup, he raced against a lot of horses that were out of form and were struggling at the time, so I don't think that's a true reflection of his ability in that race at the time, but he got the job done, he did it nicely, and if he can repeat that performance, he should be hard to beat.
It's a race you've got a very rich history with. I'm sure you'd like to win it on this horse. Obviously, you've never hidden your affection for him.
No, I love the horse, of course. Yeah, he's been my favourite horse, you know, the last 18 months, and you know, I always enjoy riding him. It's a privilege to be on his back, and you know, hopefully we can get another win on the board with him.
That is Zach on California Spangle. Tom, we're going to move now to the Stewards Cup replay. This is over 1,600. He runs 3rd. Waikuku runs 4th. Has Zach made the right call going for California Spangle over Lucky Swayness, do you think?
Yeah, I think he has. As he said in the interview there, he's got the golden 60 form, and that form is very hard to beat here in Hong Kong, as we know. And this was the occasion where he was able to stalk California Spangle and pounce on him at the 200 metres and run on by. But here at the 1400 metres, Paul, as Zach said as well, it's pretty predictable what is going to happen off the front.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to get to the front and he can dictate, right? And that's the key with California Spangle. You know, he can put that extra bit of pace in, and he's the stayer of a lot of them. You know, these other horses are sprinters coming up to 14.
Must be a nice feeling being this man going to the races on Sunday. You've got California Spangle, you've got also Beauty Eternal. What of the others, Paul?
Victor the winner. I think he can win. He's a very nice horse. That Good Boy's interesting. He's a first starter. Rattan Kingdom's drawn a little bit wide. Magniac's going well at the moment. He's been placed in both his starts.
He's only got 7 rides through the course of the afternoon, but Magniac's certainly interesting. A few of those earlier runners are drawn wide, and he's looking to get down to it's 118 on Unpresuming at the end of the day.
He's looking for 3 in a row, is Unpresuming. So that is Zach and California Spangle. Tom, this is Lucky Swayness in the Centenary Sprint Cup. Wellington runs second, Courier Wonder runs fourth, but he really announced himself on the stage this day, didn't he?
He certainly did, and look, he just keeps on improving. That was a career best for him last time out here in the Centenary Sprint Cup over Wellington, who I thought he might have quickened a little better this day, Paul, and they've opted to change the jockey as well. Ryan Moore goes on board.
Yeah, so he's going to jump aboard as well. Look, he finished off nice enough, but Lucky Swayness definitely had the wood on him in this particular contest. And he is, as Zach said, he's a young horse that's coming through as well. So he's still on the up, Lucky Swayness.
Both carry 126 pounds in this race. He's been back to the trials, Paul Lucky Swayness. He wins the trial. There he is up outside Saquin, turning for home.
Yeah, and it was a nice trial. Just ticked him over nicely. He's going to try and keep California Spangle in his sights the whole race. That's the key. What James McDonald's going to have to do. He won't want Zach to get away with anything sort of slow in front and sprints off or take off. So he's going to just be really handy to him, I think.
Yep, he'll be tracking him everywhere he goes. James McDonald, Zach Purton there. That'll be the instructions, no doubt, for Manfred Mann.
And Courier Wonder, Tom, he's a horse that's won 5 times over the 1200. John Sizer's tried a few things with him this season, ran him over 1,000 3 starts ago. First time 1400 this week. Yeah,
and he was carrying the big weight here last time out, 135 pounds handicap conditions, Class 1 race, went back to the inside, sort of got slightly tightened up here, having to come off the heels there of the nervous witness, and then was squeezing through between him and Duke. There was a lot to like about the run. First time beyond 1,200 metres, Paul, and look, I think he gets his chance in a small field.
Yeah, look, I don't think it's a negative going to 1,400 metres by any stretch of the imagination. The breeding's there for him, so I think that's a good thing.
You've seen all 5 runners now for the Group 1, Paul, the Queen's Silver Jubilee. What order do they finish in?
Well, I went 1-3-2, so I put California Spangle on top. To beat Lucky Swayness and Wellington, I said that way, 1-3-2.
You can't argue as well. 1, 3 and 2, I think they're the 3 horses with the 3 live chances in the race. California Spangle over Lucky Swayness and Wellington, 1, 3 and 2.